Call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. We've got the consent agenda, if everyone had a chance to look at their packet. Minutes from the last council meeting of February 18th. Planning Commission meeting was on February 11th. The exempt gambling permit for Bark, that was rescheduled from February 18th to April 15th. And the regular bills.
I'll introduce the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion made in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any department heads? Jason?
Jason Sikora, Electric Utility Manager. I thought I would just take this time to let the public and the council know that we are planning a scheduled citywide power outage March 16th. That's a Sunday morning, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. We're going to do some emergency testing on the new generators to make sure that they work well together with the existing older generation. So would have been something nice to have done before tonight's weather, but hopefully we won't have to run anything. Any questions on that? I did go around to about 90 some businesses and handing them out the notice, and then it's going to go out in the paper. The paper's going to run a couple ads. KDOM's going to run on both of their stations, and then we're going to put a flyer or a insert into the utility bills that'll come out the beginning of next week, I think, right away. So we're going to try robocalls. We did that a few years ago, but the phone system will no longer support that. So.
Does anyone have any other questions? Thanks for the update. Any other department heads? Okay, moving on to public comment. Mike Laurie had filled out the forms to speak on vaccine injuries and treatments, and he did send an email that he could not be here due to the weather tonight. He lives near Comfrey, and he did ask to be moved to the next meeting on March 18th. Now we have the resolution of appreciation for Mary Holman, who was an EMT for 14 years and is retiring. And Jenny is going to read the resolution.
I'll introduce the resolution.
I'll second.
Whereas the City of Windom wishes to express grateful recognition and appreciation to Mary Holman for her untiring and valuable service to the City of Windom, faithfully rendered as an EMT for 14 years. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the City Council of Windom, Minnesota, as follows. The City Council, on behalf of its members, city officials, employees of the City of Windom, and the citizens of this community, extends to Mary Holman its expressions of appreciation for serving the city well as an EMT, and its best wishes for good health, success, and prosperity in the years to come. That a copy of this resolution be incorporated in the official records of the City Council of the City of Windom, and a copy presented to Mary Holman, adopted this 4th day of March 2024. 25, sorry.
So we've had a motion made and seconded to adopt the resolution of appreciation to Mary Holman. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Sherman.
Yes.
Esplin.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
Benson.
the resolution of appreciation for Mary Holman is adopted. And I wish Mary was here so we could give her a standing ovation, because that's a heck of a deal to have done this for 14 years. So Mary, I hope you're watching. Thank you very much. All right, now we are moving on to the citywide cleanup event, and Steve is going to go over that with us.
Okay, get to that page. All right, so citywide cleanup, every year we do a spring cleanup event. Staff's been in contact with Hometown Sanitation, who does the curbside pickup. They've got one weekend available, which is Saturday, May 17th. So we are asking you to approve that as the weekend for the spring cleanup. We'll be doing it the same as we did last year. It worked pretty well for Hometown, which is to collect 10 large items. If you put more than that out on the curb, they don't collect them. They will take 10. But so they collect 10 large items, and then smaller items, we've got a drop-off site. We had rollaway dumpsters down at Teagles Park for Windom residents to use. So if they had items to drop off, they could bring those down to that drop-off location and put them in the dumpster, and they get taken care of from there. We do require either ID or utility bill or something to prove your residency for that, but that would be 7 a.m. to noon, and then the cleanup would be on that Saturday as well on the 17th. Hometown will start early in the morning and get done early afternoon. So those are the two collection pieces of this. Last year and several other years, we've done mattress and box spring collection, and we're planning to do that again. We've been in contact with the Cottonwood County landfill. They will be doing pickup of box springs and mattresses again. They would do that collection. Those you do have to have tags for, because they have to know where to go to pick these up. So you do have to purchase a tag. The cost per each mattress and box spring to the city is $17 per piece. Last year, the city council provided a subsidy of $7 per item for 2 items per household. So that lowered the price to $10 for each mattress and each box spring, with a limit of two per household. Those tags are purchased at City Hall. We then keep a list of those tags that are sold, where they're at, the location, and that's what's provided to the county to do that pickup. Previously, we had done some electronic and some appliances, but that did not go over well with our collection folks, because there's a market for that kind of stuff. It all gets pre-picked off the curb before the recyclers get there, and it's not worth their time to come and do. So we haven't done that the last couple of years, and we're not planning on doing that again this year. But the county is doing appliance and electronics recycling. Their first event is Saturday, April 19th. So it's a month approximately ahead of our cleanup. So it's a good opportunity to get your appliance, your recycling out, and get that to the county recycling event before our cleanup. And then you have the large item and the small item drop off. So that's what we've got for you on this one. The county also will do a second recycling event, but that's not until October. But they will do the advertising on that and get the word out on that. So what we're asking for you folks is to approve the May 17th, and then if you want to do a subsidy for the mattress collection, decide what that subsidy amount is, and if you're going to put a per item or per household limit on the number of tags. Those are the kind of discussion points for you all.
I guess I would make a motion to approve May 17th of 2025 to be the Windom Citywide Cleanup, and then do as we have the last year with the $7 subsidy per item, up to 2 items per household.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Last year, didn't we do something similar, and yet there was an awful lot of stuff put on the curbs like they had in the previous years?
That was 2 years ago was when we changed this, and that was the bad year. Last year actually went fairly well. So people are kind of getting the hang of it a little bit, and I think that's good. Obviously, we do encourage folks not to put their items on the curb too early. You know, within the week before would be great if you can keep it off the curb, you know, until the week before, so we don't have the items sitting along the curbside. You know, that's appreciated. And if you do put out more than 10, Hometown will not collect it. And if it's sitting on your curb, you will be subject to, you know, a nuisance complaint by the neighbors or the building office, so.
Yeah, it almost looked like some people are putting out already.
It's way too early for that.
Is there any further discussion? Steve, you said last year went good with this as compared to the year before when it was changed.
Correct, yeah. I think we saw that. We had 2 years ago, we had a subcommittee, the council, discuss it, kind of go through. We made these changes to it. And then last year was our second year in it, and Hometown has been happy with the way it went. I think they've had a good experience with it. We didn't have a lot of, you know, feedback that it was problematic. So I don't know, maybe Jenny was on the committee if you want to attest to that as well, that'd be.
Yeah, I don't think that there was, I mean, just the first year with the change, and some people maybe didn't realize the change. I think the second year it went better. I think we're always gonna have the people that put things on the curb regardless of if it's citywide cleanup or not. And so, you know, those are just things that you have in a community. And so I think that it went better, and I think definitely Hometown was more on board with this way of having the limited big items, so their staff it wasn't as difficult on their staff to haul all the items in that day.
Should we even consider putting inserts into their utility bills?
We'll have inserts in utility bills, and we'll do our traditional advertising in the shopper and on Citizen and on our website. And so, yeah, we will do that as well. Yes, thank you.
I think that'll be key, really getting the word out so that people take advantage of this, because I know we've all heard a lot about everybody wanting to clean things up, so this is a good opportunity to do that. And that Saturday, April 19th, at Collections, they do offer a special price at the landfill. I just had a friend out there to deliver some stuff that was gonna be rather costly, and it's like half price that day, so that will be a good thing to take advantage of as well. All right, so we have a motion made, or is there any further discussion? So you have the motion made and seconded to do the cleanup weekend, Saturday, May 17th, with a limit of 2 tags sold for $10 apiece per household. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we're on to the engineering services agreement with SEH Engineering and DGR Engineering. Stevie will take
Okay,
that.
I'll do the first one for sure, and maybe if I need a little help on the second one, we'll see. The first one for SEH, SEH are our airport consultants, and so for our 2025 project, we're gonna do some taxiway widening. This project will basically be the first step. If there are some additional hangars in the future that'll be built kind of to the north and east of the existing hangars. It takes quite a bit of time to get these through the system, to get anything built through FAA and funding. And so this is kind of step one, is to get that apron addition onto our taxiway so that future hangars could be built there. This is part of our capital improvement plan with the airport. We've got the budget to do it. It's mostly federally funded. It's 90% federally funded. Sometimes there's some state funding. I'm not quite remembering if this one, I believe, has 5% state funding, then the other 5% comes from our capital budget in our airport budget. The amount of this, it's a lump sum contract with the consultants, and I believe it's about $39,000, including the ground testing and with Braun Geotech. Here it is, $39,100 for the total cost of that. And so, again, that is also 90% federally funded, 5 state, 5 city, so.
John, are you gonna tell us about the DGR Engineering 2025 street project?
If you do want to vote on, want to do them separately?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to accept the engineering agreement with SCH Engineering on the airport taxiway project.
Second.
Motion made and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
John looks anxious.
I think he's ready to get in a snowplow.
John Ketzberg, Streets Park Superintendent. I guess, yeah, DGR, we're planning on doing some alley work and everything. The DAC alley behind Hallmark, and then by the plaza there for the Mexican restaurant. So that's what Dan's kind of doing. He's been around town doing some topos and everything else around there, and going through and getting some businesses' names and everything, so we can start compiling all that to let everybody know what's kind of going on. Any questions, or first time doing this, so I don't know what you're looking for?
No, this is just this is the second step in the process. At the last council meeting, 2 weeks ago, the feasibility study resolution was approved, so SCH has started working in that side of it. And as John noted, this is the second step is now to start doing the topographical and some of the preliminary engineering work on this and do some of the data collection that's needed for that feasibility study. And
I would then make a motion to approve the engineering agreement with DGR Engineering for the 2025 street project.
Second.
Motion made and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. MnDOT radar sign agreement. Would you like to tell us about that?
I will tell us about that. Scott Peterson and I were kind of working on this and everything, and we kind of came to agreement with MnDOT and everything. We're purchasing 3 vehicle speed signs for the city, and MnDOT's purchasing 1 themselves. So like the agreement says here, City of Windom will purchase 3 VSF signs, 2 30 by 30s and a 36 by 48. These signs will be owned by the City of Windom and be moved when the city desires. If the city desires to move the signs along or onto any trunk highway, coordination and permits from MnDOT will be required. And there's some other stuff in here. MnDOT will purchase 1 speed sign, it's the big one, 36 by 48, and this sign will be owned by MnDOT and may be removed from Windom once the roundabout at South Junction of Highway 6071 is construction. MnDOT will be responsible for all costs associated with initial installation of all 4 signs on the Highway 60. If the city desires to move any or all the city-owned signs, the city will be responsible for all the costs associated with salvage and reinstallation at the new locations. City of Windom will be responsible for sign maintenance for all 4 signs deployed on Highway 60, including the battery replacement, sign functionality, etc. The city will only be responsible for signs maintenance of the MnDOT-owned sign while it is installed on Highway 60. So once the roundabout's in, MnDOT's taking it out, and they're taking full responsibility of everything. So we'll just be dealing with the 3 signs that are ours. And like I say, we can move them and do whatever we want. After initial installation on Highway 60, each party will be responsible for maintenance and sign structure supporting their own signs. Each party will also be responsible for replacement costs for their own signs should a sign be irreparably damaged. Any questions on what we kind of all went through with MnDOT? And
maybe timeline on the signs coming and whatnot.
the signs are ordered and they're about 4 to 6 weeks out. So we got a bill for them already, and we got 30 days to pay that. So we're gonna hold off for a little while until it's closer to due date.
And good news is with the 3 sign purchase, we came in very close to budget. The council had budgeted $18,200 in the 2025 budget for this project, and I think we came in at 19,100 or 19,200, so it was very close. I got it to 19,263. So we're about $1,000 over, but we did upsize one of the signs, and so we'll pull that out of operational budget.
You say 4 to 6 weeks?
Correct. That's lead time for building them.
Does that mean we're gonna start the construction?
We really didn't get a definite answer on the construction end of it. If I recall right, he was talking late 26, 27, maybe-ish.
26 at the earliest for the roundabout.
I'll make a motion that we approve the MinDOT radar sign agreement.
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Is there any further discussion?
Are they going to repair our road out there, the highway, beforehand?
That is a good question. I hope so.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor to approve the MinDOT radar sign agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, John.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
You too. Contractor payment on the generation plant construction. Jason, fill us in.
So what we have here is, in a nutshell, is a change order for adding an after cooler to the air compressor system. After the initial plans and design, which was done by the provider of the air compressor and all the system related to that, at that time it was determined we were not going to need an after cooler. After running and doing the testing, it was found that we needed an after cooler as air temperatures were, or the pipes on the air compressed system were about 350 degrees. They were starting to melt some of the plastic components on that. So after cooler was designed to be put in before all those plastic components, so nothing will melt. So this is what it came in at, was $8,600, I believe. $8,657. We were able to perform some self-work, which knocked about $13,000 off of the original quoted price to put this in. So we will still be under budget for the project. We are currently at a negative in our contingency fund of about $9,900. So we'll still be at a negative in that. So at the end, which we'll be wrapping up here shortly, we should be doing final payment, I would imagine, next month on this project. So there will be the official change order, which will be to actually lower the price of the project. So yeah.
Does anyone have any questions or discussion? Thanks for the self-work there. That was a nice savings.
Yeah.
13,000,
Yeah, the guys are pretty handy, so
I guess.
I handle a lot.
All right.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the contractor payment and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Jason. Now we're moving on to the mayor appointments. We've got vacancies to fill. There was a action item on this in the packet. The HRA board, Heidi Hill is going to replace Joel LeCan and will fill that unexpired term until December 31st of 2027. Park and Rec Commission, Antonio Cerda Juarez will fill Mitchell. What is it? Shimoliski. Thank you. Will fill his position. He has not been able to make meetings, and I did connect with him by email at the end of last week, and he has a different set of responsibilities with his work and a change in residence, so he has not attended the meeting and was happy to have his seat filled. And then if we could add on the tree commission, there's been a vacancy there, and I did connect with Bruce Toninato, who I think would be a good asset, and I did talk to John about that. So if we can, do we have to do those separate?
No, you can do them individually or you can do them together with council's wishes when they make the motion.
Okay, so however you would like to do it.
I'm not familiar with Bruce Toninato. Toninato?
Yep.
Yeah, as you can see.
Bruce worked for the city for a number of years. He was our sergeant at night. So he worked, had to be 15 years ago or a dozen years ago. So I think Bruce retired about the time Scott came on, when Bruce retired. Yeah, because Jeff Shirkey was sheriff, or was police chief, and Bruce was the night person.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd be fine making a motion to accept all three of these recommendations by Mayor Mathis.
I would second.
Motion made in second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Does anyone have anything for new business? Any old business? All right, moving on to council comments. Jim, do you have anything for us?
I have nothing.
Nothing tonight? Jason?
Yeah, I was just gonna say my personal thanks to Mary Holman for all of her years of service. I and the rest of us and the community really appreciate faithful service, good service, excellent service, and we're gonna hunker down tomorrow with the weather, aren't we?
Dennis, do you have anything tonight?
I have,
Nothing tonight for Dennis. Jenny, do you have anything tonight?
Yes, actually, while we were here in this meeting, we got the alert that the Windom School is closed tomorrow. It will be an e-learning day for all you students out there. So stay safe and stay home. Hopefully people don't have to travel if they don't have to, if the roads are bad. And then also, hopefully Saturday, everything will melt and it'll be better. Because Saturday, Windom School, out at the Windom School will be the Farm and Home Show. So people can come to town and enjoy that. And also, I believe the community center is having their rummage sale this Saturday. So if you can get out and about Saturday, hopefully the weather improves and you can check out a few of these opportunities in Windom.
That all sounds great. I just had to be safe tonight and tomorrow and echo what the others have said. So thank you again to Mary for 14 years, and Kristen, please tell her. All right, I think that wraps it up. We beat your time last time? Oh, shoot. Oh. Steve, do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, well then we'll wrap this up. We adjourn this by unanimous consent.